Two guys, same job, same paycheck, same exact car, a $35,000 SUV, silver, nothing fancy. Marcus paid for his in full, cash, drove off owing nobody a single dollar. He felt smart. Dave financed his, 7%, 6 years, kept his cash to invest. He also felt smart. They both think they made the smarter money move. And here's the thing that's going to bother you, Surer. They're both wrong. Because when you run the real math, not the math the salesman shows you, not the math your uncle swears by, the gap between these two isn't a few $100s. It's $41,000. And the person who won probably isn't who you think. Let's keep this fair. Same starting line for both. That's the only way this is honest. Marcus and Dave are both 30 years old. Same salary, $60,000 a year. Same city, same rent, same everything. Both have $35,000 sitting in the bank. Both want the same silver SUV that costs, you guessed it, $35,000. This is the fork in the road. One decision, two paths. Marcus walks in, writes one check, and empties his savings. Zero debt, zero payment. The car is 100% his. Dave walks in, puts nothing down, and finances the whole thing. 7% interest, 72 months. His payment, $597 a month. His $35,000 still in the bank, untouched. I'll let it grow, he says. Two smart guys, two very different bets. Now we wait. For the first couple of years, both of them look like geniuses. To themselves. Marcus feels untouchable. No payment. That $597 Dave sends to the bank every month. Marcus keeps it. Interest is for suckers, he says. And honestly, it feels amazing. Every time a car payment ad comes on, he smiles. He owns his freedom. Dave feels just as clever. His $35,000 is still sitting there. Marcus locked all his cash in a metal box that loses value. Dave says, "Mine's still liquid. I can invest it. I can grow it." On paper, Dave's holding an asset. Marcus is holding a depreciating hunk of steel. Both of them have a story. Both stories sound smart. And this is exactly where most people stop thinking. Right at the part where their choice feels justified. But feelings and math are two very different things. So let's stop feeling and start counting. Fast forward. 6 years. The loan is done. Let's total it up. Dave's SUV cost $35,000 on the sticker, but Dave didn't pay $35,000. He paid $597 every month for 72 months. Do the math. That's $42,900, which means Dave handed the bank almost $8,000, $7,900 in pure interest. For nothing. Not a better car, not a faster car. The exact same silver SUV Marcus is driving. Dave just paid $8,000 extra for the privilege of not paying up front. Round 1, Marcus looks like the clear winner. $8,000 ahead. But here's where people mess up. They stop at one car. Nobody drives one car for their whole life. So let's zoom out. Because this is where it gets ugly. Over a 30-year driving life, most people replace their car every 6 years. That's 5 cars, 5 loans, 5 rounds of interest, $8,000 in interest through times 5 cars is roughly $40,000. Add the compounding and the slightly bigger loans as cars get pricier, and you land right around $41,000. $41,000. Gone. To the bank. That's Dave's number. That's the gap everyone talks about. The number everyone talks about is $41,000. What nobody talks about is what Marcus did wrong. Because Marcus isn't the hero of this story either. Remember that $35,000 Marcus dropped on day one? That money didn't just get spent, it gave up something. Economists have an ugly name for it: opportunity cost. The money you'll never see because you spent it here instead of there. If Marcus had kept that $35,000 invested, a plain index fund, 7% a year, and just paid for a cheaper car, that $35,000 would have grown to over $260,000 in 30 years. $260,000 from one lump sum that he crushed into a car seat. None of this shows up in the sticker price, but it shows up eventually. And there's a second hidden cost, the sneaky one. When you pay cash, the car feels free. No monthly reminder. No payment stinging you. So what does Marcus do every 6 years? He buys a little nicer, a little bigger. I've got no payment. I can afford it. The very thing that made him feel smart. Quietly made him spend more. If I only showed you the downsides of financing, I'd be doing exactly what every influencer does. So let's be fair to Dave for a second, because Dave could have won. He really could have. Dave kept his $35,000. He financed at 7%. Here's the play nobody ran. If Dave had actually invested that $35,000 and left it alone at 7% for 30 years, it becomes that same $260,000. Take away the $41,000 he lost to interest, and Dave still walks away over $200,000 ahead. Dave doesn't just win. Dave demolishes Marcus. On paper, financing is the genius move. Borrow at 7, invest at 7 or more, keep your cash working. That's what the finance bros scream at you. So why did we say Dave was wrong? One reason. One brutal, human reason. He didn't invest it. Almost nobody does. The $35,000 that was supposed to become $260,000, it became a nicer TV, a vacation, an emergency, a slow leak of, I'll invest it next month. The plan was perfect. The human running it was not. So when does each one actually win? Because there's no single answer. And anyone who gives you one is selling something. Financing wins in exactly one situation. You get a low rate and you genuinely automatically invest every dollar you didn't spend. Not try to. Automatically. Set it, forget it, never touch it. If that's not you, and be honest, financing just quietly transfers your money to the bank. Paying cash wins when you'd otherwise never invest anyway. If that money was going to leak away regardless, then locking it into a car you keep for a long time at least stops the bleeding. For most people, real people, not spreadsheets, cash is the safer default. Not because the math is better, because it protects you from yourself. But notice something. In both winning cases, the car itself never got cheaper. Marcus and Dave are still both buying $35,000 SUVs every 6 years. And that is the real trap. The real trap was never cash versus financing. The real trap is the car, or more precisely, how often you replace it. Marcus and Dave spent this entire story arguing about interest rates while both of them quietly torched a car's worth of money every 6 years to depreciation. Depreciation doesn't care how you paid. Cash, loan, lease, the car loses value the second you drive it, and it never stops. The person who actually wins this game isn't the cash buyer. It isn't the financing buyer. It's the person who buys once and keeps it. 10 years, 15. Long after the payment ends, long after the new car itch fades, still driving, still saving, still investing the difference. That's the whole secret. Not the loan, the length. Marcus and Dave were fighting over $41,000 in interest to Joe Porius, and both missing the $200,000 hiding in how long they keep the car. Feelings told them to argue about the payment. The math was somewhere else entirely. So the next time someone tells you always pay cash or always finance and invest the difference, ask them one question. Are you actually investing the difference? Because that's the only answer that matters. Marcus felt smart. Dave felt smart. The math didn't care about either of them. Now, I already showed you what happens when someone keeps the same car for 15 years instead of trading every 3. The gap there? $156,000. And if you're wondering what happens when you combine paying cash with keeping the car that long Iwasku, that's a completely different conversation. That's the video I'm making next. If this made you rethink your own car, your own payment, drop a comment, cash or finance. Be honest and subscribe, because we're going one layer deeper next time. Let's keep this fair.